Oh, it's just not never ending.
Yeah, the trade kills are so real there, like, because you had just so many people from so many different angles pinching T-Main, Ivy. Like, people out Ivy got out of Ivy and knows no information that they actually are out Ivy and shooting people in the back. So, I mean, the trade kills are super on point there because they're just coming from every different angle. But for a second there, Na'Vi had some life.
Apparently I had my mic muted, ripping Pepperoni's voice.
Wait, what?
I'm a scrub streamer. I had my mic muted for a little while. Hopefully not for too long. Like Rick Mattis.
That's great.
Brilliant. My bad, boys. I mean, there hasn't been too much to see in this map, though, to be completely honest. Charlotte have just continued to show how impressive they are. And Na'Vi have just been out to sea. Here we go, Guardian. 2 frags. Do go the way of Na'Vi. It's going to get instantly answered back on with Zipex with 3 of his own. And now the Deagle's coming into play to do a bit more damage, but it's simple now when they're 1 on 3, and he's not quite shown the level of play that he is today either. Hasn't had the standout performance that maybe I was looking for. 3 and 12 right now. That's pretty painful.
Device is 17 and 2, and I think at one point versus Liquid he was like 20 or 16 and 4, 20 and 4, something like that. So Device is super on point right now.
Very well played indeed. 17 and 2, Dupree 15 and 2.
Maybe Liquid can look at this match and be like, okay, you know, we lost 16-1, but Astralis is just nuts.
And if we're looking at the positives, Astralis got their 14 rounds on CT side. They're wrecking Na'Vi on their T side. So, you know, we're trying to look at positives from Liquid's perspective.
Yeah. I mean, this is a must-win round for Na'Vi right now.
It's do or die, ultimately, at this stage. To me, they've got to get 4 rounds on this half. They are good for 1 trade kill, but Simple now is going to have to put on a clinic as he scutters towards the sights. Kiev is going for the plant. There's the double spray. Bomb does get planted, however. This means that Astralis don't have to worry about forcing the way onto the site and getting that down. So that's half the struggle has gone their way. They also have a Molotov, which could be thrown out. Dupree around the corner. There's War looking for a second. He will connect it as well. It's all on Edward. He knows where Dupree is roughly, but round the back comes Zipex for 2 frags. And Astralis, even in the close rounds, they're edging out Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, that round right there even reminded me of the Liquid match. Just like, the other team has the advantage, and Astralis just clutches the round. Insane play. Pop flashing himself through the pop dog smoke, catching a blind Opper, and then someone else is blind, jumping around with a knife out. Just some good plays from Astralis right now.
Zipex out with the rest of his brethren to try and aggress onto the CTs. And aggress they shall. Glaive with a kill onto Simple. Ceases in the left-hand side of Zipex, who, yeah, I was about to say that Molotov has his name written all over it. It's going to be forced out into the open, and in doing so, Zipex will oblige in kind. Flamey with Edwards. He's trying to hold onto the site, quite literally, jumping up and down on top of it. Flamey's going to go for the spray with the M4. Not going to get it done, but that's going to leave Zipex all by himself. Flashbang lands in his eyes, but he will get the frag onto Guardian just before the flash detonates. And down he goes afterwards. So Na'Vi finally get a second round on the boards. Probably not going to be good enough, though.
Yeah, no, I think that was the first round I saw Device miss a shot. But, yeah. Just barely winning that, too, to be honest.
1 for 13 for Seized. Oh, man. It's pretty rough. Device, in the meanwhile, is edging ahead once again. 18-4. Aggressive play by Flamey, so this is one of the things that we were discussing before. One way to counteract the Ivy aggression is to fight fire with fire. They're going to hide behind the box instead. Guardian will open up his account into this round with a second frag onto T-Main. I thought Edward may be able to pick that frag from underneath him. Meanwhile, Kirby pushing, and Ivy's going to get caught with his pants down as Flamey goes in for the kill. And that will force the hand of Glaive and Zipex, who don't want to wait around any longer. They've got a bit of information for the rest of their team. They're going to force their way onto the site. There goes the first kill. Zipex is still charging on top of the train. Down he goes, leaving Glaive in a 1-on-4. He has the bomb. He should be able to get this pick onto C's. Actually sprays through and lands the headshot. Is this realistic? Surely not, especially as Edward's behind him.
Yeah, no way. Okay. But that was the answer Navi needed at Ivy right there, but just way too late, right? A Guardian posts up, finally gets a pick at Ivy there, and then that opens, you know, the window for Flamey to just sit behind that little E-box at Ivy and just get someone with a flash out, and finally shutting down the Ivy, but it's too late.